what's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we are back. Time for an episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and oh my gosh, what's going on there, Uncle Samette and Aunt Sam?
Aunt Sam. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Deb, is there a holiday coming up or something?
There sure is. It's my least favorite. I do not like it because I'm scared of the noise. I don't like
Yeah, I gotta say I'm not a huge fan of the theatrics either because of owning dogs. So yeah, I'm much more a Christmas or Halloween kind of guy.
And you never know what's coming. They're already doing them. I'm laying in bed at night and kaboom, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
So I want to say a couple of people have mentioned they like the new opening, but they miss the old music. So I think if you will remind me, Deb, next week I will re-edit it with the old music and we'll play both and we'll just get a vote. If people like the new music, cool. If they like the old music, cool. We'll do that.
I was going to say, who can sit still in their seat when that was going on? I was like,
I know. I kind of like it dancing. All right. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guest this week is Stephanie Canada. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing well.
Good. You know, I got to admit, the first time I saw one of your videos, I think you'd reach out and say, can I post this video? I just assumed you were from Canada, and that was like your name. Like, I'm Jason Thrifts. Like, in case you don't know, my real last name isn't Thrifts. So I'm like, oh, then I found out it was your name. So, although it made it easy to match up, so there is a kick-ass tiki bar. There's one in Vancouver and one in Toronto called the Shameful Tiki Room. So this is one badass mug from the Shameful Tiki Room.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
The only problem is the opening is so tiny. I had to straw it tonight because it's such a big mug and such a tiny little opening. So Canadian mug, but Stephanie Canada actually lives in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me a good excuse to drink one of the best spiced rums, which is direct from Florida. Siesta
Key. Nice.
So cheers. Thank you for being on tonight. What are you drinking, Deb?
I'm drinking a mocktail called Tiki Chiller for all of our viewers that don't drink alcohol. Cheers.
I like it.
So, do you know this mug?
Yeah, Crazy Al did that mug for Tiki Farm.
Yeah, I don't know, but it does say Tiki Farm.
I don't know the answer, but I was just hoping you did. But, you joining us in cocktails tonight, Steph?
I am joining you in alcohol. I am having some wine from my BR guest because I'm missing my Disney fix at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because normally we watch the 4th of July fireworks from our house and sync up the music.
Oh, my gosh.
DIY fireworks, baby.
Thank you, Angelique.
All right, so cool. Sit back, relax, and we'll see you in a little bit, Steph.
Sounds good.
Don't drink too much.
And wait to see what Stephanie's day job is when we're not on lockdown, because she'll be the one and only we'll ever have on Thrifty Business. So that's one of the things I can't wait to talk to her about. All right, let's get right into it. Now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Boom.
Books. We keep selling so many books. This one sold for $51. It's a consignment. But it looks kind of boring. But hey,
so what is this book? When I was looking at it, I'm like, what is this?
Something about higher education. I don't read them. I just sell them.
Good point. People always go, do you know everything you sell music-wise? I'm like, nope. I just know it's worth money.
Scan them. Yep.
This is cool.
I know. It's John Lennon belt buckle. It sold like within 24 hours. We paid $2 for it and sold it. We accepted a best offer of $34 on it.
Where'd you find that?
At our thrift store. When our first one in town opened, everything that day was half off. I spent $250 there that day, and this was one of the belt buckles.
Nice.
That we got. Yeah, I love it.
I like it.
Okay, and these are the Animorphs. Secret Beach, I had showed a whole box of these at the thrift store while other guys were in the other aisle scanning. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. I took the whole box, paid $17 for it, and accepted a best offer of $68. Animorphs, they're out of print, and if you can get a whole set, you found a good score. Kids paperbacks. Oh, look at how Bill set up the cash flow game, just like he taught us. He's over there having fun. He was working on another one tonight. We the same thrift store we went in the other day, and things weren't half off, but they have a thing now where if you do check in on Facebook and you show them, you can get it half off because they wanted $35. And I thought, I'm not spending that much, but we went back when I realized I could get it for $17 and sold it for $59.49 pretty quickly. We always grab cash flow. Oh, if you're in the secret beach, I put a file in that has the list of all the parts, because they do not give you in the manual for this game. It does not say
Really?
parts.
Wow.
No, it does not. And I've had to go on, board, it's a Game Board Geek or something like that. And so I found what the parts are. So if you're a secret beach member, if not, you should be. There's a list in the files. I had to add this. Isn't this nice? Sold for $69.99.
Nice.
Full asking price. Hawaiian Mumu. Just love it. I think I paid $2 for that one.
Good job. Look at you selling the moo-moos.
Oh yeah, I look all the time for them.
All right, I want to throw this one in. It's not a huge sale, obviously, $11.99, but you always got to be thinking, what do I have in my possession? What do I have here that I can turn into cash here? This was, I think it was, Record Store Day 2015. This was in the bag of goodies you got when you purchase stuff. Dave Grohl is the official ambassador. I had 2 bags. I had 2 of these, so I sold them each for $12. So, it wasn't a huge sale, but it was free stuff I got. And I'll never wear this pin, so might as well turn it into cash. All right, I had this forever. I finally got a good offer on it. Evil Spud. At one point, someone made a shirt, thought it'd be funny to change Evil Knievel into potato. But it is a vintage 50-50 t-shirt. We talked about that last time. And however, whatever assistant took these pictures, there's no picture of the tag and there's no picture of the whole full front of the shirt. I'm like, no wonder this didn't sell faster, because you want to show off the vintage 50-50, but I paid $6 for it.
Nice.
And then this was on a day when I was running fast out of savers because Stace needed me at home. And 2 things you'll see in the scores sold the same week. And I just like, I'll look real quick. This is one of them. This was in the glass showcase. It was on sale for $14.99. Eddie from Iron Maiden, made by McFarlane Toys, Spawn, sold it for $64, and it lasted maybe a day, a day. And then this was something Stacey and I sourced well before the lockdown and just sat in a corner forever. I'm finally like, all right, let's get this up. We paid $15 at Goodwill, and it sold within like 2 days for $86.
Nice. That's a lamp. Cool.
Yeah, it's a lamp, and that was the higher going rate than everybody else. And so I sent my assistant, took the pictures, the teenager, and I sent her back. I go, hey, pop it out of the box, but don't take it all the way out, but just show people that it's in there. It's in one piece. And away it went. And these were the other items that I quickly, like, what can I grab real quick? Jenkos just winking at me, hanging out of the jean section. They were up for like, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days, sold for $100. I paid $6 for these Jenkos. So if
nice.
Jenko is not on your Bolo list, get it on your Bolo list.
Still haven't found a pair yet.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yep. I'm not giving up.
And now from Flippin' Cassettes, now it's time for CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start out with Flippin' Cassettes first. Yeah, my finger went nuts. I just started tapping every intro. All right, always have a couple good cassette scores to share. This week it is Biz Markie. He's a rapper. And this wasn't even one of his good records. So, but $19. And the Repo Man soundtrack. If you're my age, late 40s, you were into punk music in the 80s, early 80s, this soundtrack is still awesome. Now, what's crazy though, Deb, is as you can see, I paid $2 for it, sold it for $18. Here's what's crazy and weird, because the universe works in mysterious circles. Mm-hmm. On the same day I sold the Repo Man, or in the same 24-hour period that I sold the Repo Man soundtrack on cassette, I sold the movie Repo Man on DVD. Different platform, different customers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were both listed for a while, and boom, they both sold within 24 hours of each other. So keep your eyes peeled for anything from Repo Man. And now from Flippin' Cassettes to Flippin' CDs. All right, promo CD singles. We're going to talk about those a little bit more down the show here in a bit. But here's one of them that just sold for $28. It is a single song. There's only one song on this CD for $28. But what's unique about it is it's a radio remix, meaning this was the only place you could get that mix for this song, Sunshine by Aerosmith.
Wow.
$28. And then for your old timers, Hawaiian Eye. It was like a cop detective show. but it had a whole Tiki theme to it back in the 60s.
Wow.
So all the music was Hawaiian-ish, and I paid $8 for this and sold it for $48.
Wonder if we can still find episodes of that.
And this, I showed Debbie this offer. I couldn't not take it. They offered me $66. No, this is an advanced promo of the Bloodhound Gang. You might know a couple of their songs. They were huge in the 90s for like a split second. And you might be like, why in the world would someone pay almost $70 for this advanced promo? Well, there's one reason and one reason only. It is unmastered, meaning they sent the promo out to radio stations and record stores before they finished mastering it. So it's very raw and very different from the mastered product that you would buy in the store. So the fan would love this because it is so different. Now, if you don't know the CD, and I don't expect most of you to know it, I do want to point out the funniest song on the CD. So there's songs like "A Lap Dance is So Much Better When the Stripper is Crying," "Yummy Down on This." So the last song is called "The 10 Coolest Things About New Jersey," and it's actually 10 tracks. So it actually goes 17, 18, 19, 20, and so on. And it is 10 tracks of absolute silence.
Oh, you're kidding.
You actually see the tracks change, and there ain't nothing there.
They must really hate. Was that you say New Jersey?
Yeah. So there's your little nugget of advice, little extra.
Crazy.
All right. So Clutch is the most underrated hard rock band of all time. One of my favorites. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need these little promo EPs anymore. They're worth about on average, about $20 each. And I thought, would someone buy all four together? If not, then I would break them out singularly. And someone did offer me $95 for the four of them. So boom, one transaction and away they go. And then the last score of CDs is Barry Williams Presents 70s Music Explosion. So it's a box set of CDs that looks like the old 45 boxes. I did pay $30 and I sold it for $95 on Amazon.
Nice.
All right. So I brought back my giveaway. So I'm going to give away Flippin' CDs 1 or 2 or Flippin' Cassettes. So please only answer if you haven't if you've taken all 3 classes, please don't answer. But if you haven't, I like this. Paid for Jason's CD course, haven't had a chance to watch yet, but think he has a score today. Oh, I like to see that.
Ooh,
all right. So for those of you who haven't paid for the classes, here is the question. Are you ready? Since I just showed a Barry Williams box set, what is Barry Williams famous for? So the first person to answer that hasn't taken my classes yet will win one of my classes. It was funny. I always tell Debbie the question beforehand so she doesn't get excited and just blurt out the answer. Boom. That was quick.
But I didn't know anyway.
Yes. Barry Williams, famous for being Greg Brady. And of course, I had to throw in the picture of him wearing the Tiki.
Oh, I was thinking Barry White.
I like Adele's answer, though. Barry Williams is famous for sex. Adele, you naughty, naughty girl, you.
Whoa, tell us more. No.
All right, Lisa, hit me up and I will get you taken care of.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is still alive.
At my age, I have to always ask.
But wait, there's more. Hold up. It's time for Stacy's Budget Bin Scores. All right, so we had 2 good ones this week. And what was unique was one on eBay, one on Amazon. And I showed tonight was half eBay, half Amazon. So those who say, well, you can sell on Amazon. Yep, but half my good ones sell on eBay. So anyone can sell on eBay. So Max Creek is a jam band that's been around forever, but no one really knows them. Stacy picked it up out of the dollar bin and it sold for $30.
Nice.
And not huge, but still, when you can turn $1 into 9, this is Peggy Lee, who I know, and David Barber, who I don't know, but Stacy got it for $1 and it sold for $9. So no complaints there.
Way to go, Stacy.
All right, so if you didn't win tonight, like Lisa, if you haven't taken my classes, head over to flippincds.com. And this is a no BS selling tactic. We realize the price is far too low for the content you get, so we're reworking the website, and the price is going up in about 2 weeks. So now's the time to get it. It is super duper cheap to get all the classes. So if you're thinking about it, even if you don't got time to watch right now, you get the links to all the downloads. So just go get it now. In 2 weeks, it'll still be worth it, but it'll definitely be priced more apropos.
Yes, great.
All right, where is it? There it is.
I love that.
Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
These are from my.
They're such a dud. She sent it to me twice.
I know, because I'm so excited. Guess what? It sold. It finally sold. I'm like, it was a dud, but somebody finally bought it. So sold it for $8.99. I think I paid like 69 cents or something. I don't know, $1. Quite a while ago. It was listed in September of 2018.
Oh my! All right. Well, at least it's gone.
That's right. Somebody's happy. And this too. This sat around since 2017. I think I paid $1 for it. And it sold for $14. We took a best offer of $14. So these are both from my they finally sold segment.
Yay! Okay, I always am honest when I screw up on a CD, and boy, this is one of my worst in a while. Yeah, as you can see, I paid $25 and sold it for $13. That's not how it's supposed to go. If you do take my class, I teach you better than that. But the day I bought it, it must have been looking a lot more attractive. And by the time I got it listed, by the time it finally sold, and I was dropping the price to try and stay on, as the best price. Yeah, I lost by half. Whoops, not the right way to do that. All right, and then this, I paid $12. It's a Levi's brand new with tags, sleeveless trucker jacket, and I sold it for $40. And you might be saying to yourself, Debbie, why is that a dud? $12 into $40. Well, as you can see where I highlighted in the top, it was listed in 2018, and the real problem is I bought 6.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was the first one to sell.
Oh.
Whoops. So I think they'll all turn a profit, but they're going to turn it really, really slow.
Are they all the same size?
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. So if you had a whole different size, a whole family could buy them.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Okay, this is a Rain Spooner Aloha shirt that went to London. And I forget how much we sold that for. I think it sold for like $29. So somebody in London needed that shirt.
Someone in London needed a Hawaiian shirt, and
I think it's already in London yesterday. International is kind of slow right now, but we've had 2 weeks to Hong Kong, and this one got here like in 2 weeks. So.
Nice. And along the same wavelengths, this is a Hawaiian shirt brand. Now, it doesn't look Hawaiian shirt. It's called Iolani, and this is the higher end. It's the Iolani executive line. If you watch Mad Men, towards the end, Don Draper went to Hawaii. He didn't wear a flashy Hawaiian shirt like Deb just sold. He wore something like this. So these are for the gentlemen in the late 60s who didn't want to wear a flashy Hawaiian shirt. There is a little tiki embroidered on the side, but that went to Oslo, Norway. So apparently people in Europe need Hawaiian shirts badly right now. That is why you should be selling internationally.
That is cool.
I got to get these in better order so I can find them quicker. There we go. Now it's time for You've Got to Be Ship Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay, a gal in the Thrifty board, Melee, I think is her name. She sent a package out. This is the pirate ship box in the bag option. It sometimes can save you money. She sent it, and her buyer got charged more money. And so we're discussing what happened. And on the right, you can see you have the envelope you just put in, you forget. On the left, she actually took it and taped everything up like this box. So it looks all nice and neat. We were thinking that it was going to protect the machines, but no, it does not qualify now as the box in the bag. So do not do this. Just put it in, seal the end, and let it go that way.
And the box in the bag is a way to save money on smaller, heavier things. We have talked about it before, and it's an option through Pirate Ship. So if you have not signed up yet, get signed up. All right. Now, did I ever mention this yet, Deb?
I think you did. You talked about it, but I don't know if I've seen it.
Okay, so let me tell you, since we've been using it, in case I mentioned it 3 weeks ago, I'm going to mention it again. if you have the room for a peanut dispenser in your shipping area, it's a life-changing experience, and so much so that we shot a slow-mo video of it today just to Adele, I'm making it sexy. I'm making peanuts sexy right now because when you just open it up over the top of your box and fill it up like that, and there's no mess, there's no like you're trying to dump a box, you're holding them in. You need this. So if you have the room, and they do come in a variety of sizes, but if you have the room, having one of these is such a game changer. You'll be mad that you didn't buy it sooner. You'll be like, what was I waiting for?
Now, where did you get that? You didn't thrift that, obviously. Did you?
No, I got it on Amazon. And then I'm angry at myself. Woo! It was here for like 4 months just waiting. Just waiting. And finally, I got it up, and it took a little bit of work because I had to find the studs in the ceiling. And the first time we used it, I'm like, stupid. I should have had this up already.
I think the first time I ever saw one was our friend Lindrali years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you are outsourcing.
And this is the box of books, the Animorphs that I showed earlier. This is not a complete set. So when you're looking for price, on sold on eBay, someone's got a whole set of it. I think it's like 200 in the whole set. I can't remember exactly. But then I don't have a whole set. So what I do is I take that sold price or even an incomplete sold price. What did it sell for and how many? And then I divide it to get a per book price. Then that helps me decide, is it worth it to buy all these books? And what can I sell them for? $3 each? I mean, if they're $1 each and I can only sell them for $2 each, I'm not going to waste my time. So dividing them up as, with solds, actual solds, helps me determine that. So if you ever come across a box of books, sometimes it's not worth it. I've walked away and left books because it's just not worth it.
That's awesome. You save money on pirate ship. And Angelique said the peanut dispenser is a game changer like a thermal printer. And yeah, I don't know if I put in the notes, I want to do a video of like the top 10 tools in my office that if you have the room, every office should have. But let's talk thrifting. Now, I used OfferUp to score an amazing deal today. Now, the reason I wanted to bring up OfferUp, which we've talked about in the past, is not just people on OfferUp. Sometimes there's businesses, and so sometimes it's a bigger deal than just like, hey, I'm getting rid of my games or I'm getting rid of my CD collection of 100 CDs. This is a store in town that gets closeouts and pallets and all kinds of other stuff. And as you can see, he's had this collection for 4 months. Now, Stacy and I stopped in right as the COVID really started, and I cherry-picked a few out to see if they were worth it. And the Aerosmith CD came from this, so that's where it came from. And so the other tip is negotiate and stand your ground. Now, I was hoping to pay for about 2,000 CDs, about $1,000. And I thought, I'll start at 800 and I'll go to maybe 1,100 or a little bit more. He was at 1,700 and we were there, cash in hand, me and my assistant to load up, and he wouldn't drop below 14.
Oh.
So I left. I stood my ground. I left because also, who else is coming in the next day or two to buy 2,000 CDs?
With cash in hand.
Yeah. So a couple hours later, he hits me up and goes, all right, I was $1,250. And I said, all right, I mulled it over with my wife, 12 as low as we can go. And he said, all right, deal. So here is me and Kelly and Zoe loading up 2,000 CDs today. So that's the other tip. When you're loading up 2,000 of anything, if you can bring help and wheels, because we brought the wagon. So we'd load a tub and wagon it out to the truck.
Ooh,
so
smart.
Bring your help, negotiate, stand your ground, and you'll get good deals.
So you're confident that there's some good sellers in there?
Oh, yeah. We're going to sort and count tomorrow. So stay tuned for more details about this most awesome find.
Cool. I never thought about this.
Now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. Doesn't matter if you're selling on Depop, Etsy, Mercari, eBay, or Poshmark. Here's some little tips and tricks to help you out when selling. Sorry, Deb, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I wonder what that sounded like. I never thought about businesses selling on OfferUp.
Yeah.
That encourages me to look on there more. Okay, when we go on vacation lately, we don't when we go out of town, we don't go on vacation. We do our handling time. We change it. And it's so funny. As soon as we go to 5-day handling time, without fail, we'll instantly sell like 3 or 4 or 5 items. So anyway, this last time, we got home, and I always message the people and say, hey, you know, I'm going to ship it on this day. And usually they're okay. I've had one guy that wasn't real happy. I said, well, I do have 5-day handling time listed. So anyway, we got home, Bill shipped him, and he goes, we got a late shipping. I'm like, what? That can't happen. And so we called concierge, and they said, sometimes it takes 24 hours for it to index. So what I'm saying now is allow for that, because we usually plan ahead. Now, if somebody buys today, but they don't pay till tomorrow, so let's go now on our 5-day handling. Let's protect ourselves now. So now we're even going to go a day sooner. Of course, if we're still home, we'll ship it out. But protect yourself and don't wait till the last minute and go, oh, yes. I better do this now.
So Rag says, Deb, is it better to go for the collection or several in the line? I think she's talking about the books when you were dividing it by the, you know, to go for the whole thing or then cherry pick, I think she's saying.
Oh, I just went for the whole thing because I only paid 50 cents each because I know those books and we sold them pretty quickly too.
My return, well, you know, I'll have a better idea once we officially count tomorrow, but I was thinking anywhere from like $5,000 to $7,000 in sales. But I'll know better tomorrow because there's some junk. There's some Britney Spears One More Time that ain't worth anything. And there's some, like, a few of them are computer video games that aren't worth anything, but there's some good money in there. And yes, it sucks wearing a mask with a big beard because it puts a dent in your beard that doesn't go away until you shower again. So,
hey, it's the new look.
All right. So, talked about this in the past, but I want to show how true it is. And this will be important for our guest next week, which I'll talk about in a second. Sometimes you're on the wrong platform. This Beach Boys Gold CD was on Amazon for 3 years. Now, if you look in the balloon on the bottom right here, I listed it on June 1st, and it sold on June 24th. 3 years on Amazon, 3 weeks on eBay. So not every customer is in the same place. So sometimes you got to move your stuff around. And when you move it around, boom, you get that sale.
And I think, too, because you have 1-day handling, Amazon, because of COVID, their shipping's been way behind.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are coming to eBay going, whoa, I can get this shipped in 1 day.
Now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? All right, so 2 weeks ago, I didn't have one. Deb didn't have one this week. She tried to sneak something through. I'm like, that's not even, what? You're crazy. But I sold 2 in the same day that are really good, but I wanted to save the other one for next week. Look, I've always said I love Christmas music. I don't know who in June, when it's 107 out, thinks I need Christmas music. Who needs snow boots right now? Snowboard boots right now. Someone did. I paid $10 at Savers, sold for $100 last week. I'm like, what? Where? Who's going snow? Where?
Are they still skiing in Mammoth? They ski into July in Mammoth.
But are they open because of COVID? Like,
I don't know.
But so list everything all the time.
Yes,
all the time.
It could be a gift for somebody. You know,
it could be. And
snowboarding or whatever.
Yep. And next week I'll show the other thing I sold that is skiing related. All right, let's do a quick little housekeeping, and then we'll get on to our guest. All right, I got a whole. I took the last weekend off, needed a little breather, but I'm back in full force. All right, Secret Beachcombers, we have another store review tomorrow night, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. Scott and maybe his wife will pop in, so that'll be our store review tomorrow night. And then Mom, again, she finds another 45 case. Look how cool it is, full of 45s. So this will be 45 unboxing number 3. And again, if you like 45s and want to buy them, tune in on Sunday, 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. Mom's had some good sourcing this week, some good sales, and we'll be unboxing, and I'll be seeing these 45s for the first time live on the show.
That's awesome.
And then next week, Lisa Boland is our guest. Lisa is an online seller who doesn't sell on eBay. Dun, dun, dun. Can you be successful online selling and never, ever have sold or will be selling on eBay? So I thought that'd be a fun thing to talk about. Lisa's in the chat right now.
Hi, Lisa.
And Lisa's got an amazing item she listed today. She's cross-posting it everywhere It's a $200 item everywhere but eBay. So that's what we're going to talk about, because some people have their favorite platform and they kind of ignore the others. But as you saw with my CD example, wouldn't sell on Amazon for 3 years, sold on eBay in 3 weeks. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. And then this is the first the Secret Beachcombers are hearing of it. My webinar for the month of July will be flipping DVDs. And if you haven't realized, Deb, it says Jason Secret Beach. See the 3 DVDs, Jason Secret Beach?
Oh,
Nah.
that was cool.
So, I thought DVDs were completely dead. I needed more shelf space for Tiki mugs, so I got rid of my DVD collection. And, man, I'm selling a lot of DVDs and for some good prices. So perfect time to talk about DVDs. And Secret Beachcombers, that will be your next cocktail party, number 4, July 18th. I have the cocktail picked out. I will get it up in the Secret Beach tonight or tomorrow.
Can't wait. Those are so fun.
All right, cool. That's it. And I finally did this. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Yay, that's so much better than me going ding dong. How are you, Stephanie? What's going on?
I'm doing great.
Good. All right. So Stephanie has a passion, and she's got turned into a business. And like our guest 2 weeks ago, she started to do a YouTube channel, and she asked me to if she could post a video, and I started watching. And the great thing when people say, "Hey, I got this YouTube channel, can I share it?" And I don't mind people sharing, but if it's bad, I have to say so, because the Thrifty Board, my group, my free group to help all thrifters, 57,000 members. I don't want to have anyone putting bad content, and bad could be just low quality or could be just wrong information. And I definitely don't ever want that. So I'm always so happy when I watch some videos. I'm like, oh, you're really good at this. So let's back up, because your day job, let's start with your day job. That is normally your day job when pre-COVID.
Yes.
We're going to have to say everything from now on. Was it pre-COVID or post?
Right?
Yes.
Post.
I mean, that's going to be our new norm. It's going to be really weird. Hang on.
Pre-COVID PC?
Yeah.
Well,
all right. So I guarantee to the end of whenever Thrifty Business ends, you'll probably be the only guest with this job. So tell us, what is your job?
I am a stage manager who primarily does opera. And I also used to work at Blue Man Group here in Orlando.
Oh my gosh, how come I didn't know that? Is this in your notes you gave me?
I thought so.
Oh, I must have missed that. Wow.
If I forgot to put that in there, my bad.
Stage manager for the opera. That is, like I said, we'll never have that guess again. You're it.
So opera's in Orlando?
There is an opera in Orlando, yes. But I actually do a lot of travel. So pre-COVID, I was actually in the middle of a straight 10 weeks where I was going to be bouncing straight from North Carolina to Colorado, and then I was going to come home after those 10 weeks. And after week 1.5, I got sent on a plane and sent home.
Oh, bummer.
So, but I've been, even last year, I think I was in 6 different states alone.
Do you go to New York a lot? Is opera in New York? See, I think opera, New York, but then I'm not very educated on that stuff. So.
Well, a lot of people do. It's like, oh, the Met, oh, LA. It's like there's so many fantastic regional opera companies out there that people just sort of forget about them. The one that I used to go to primarily was Opera Colorado, and I love the whole team out there. It's such a great time. They put on such good work. It's in downtown Denver, and I love Denver.
I do too.
I could convince my husband to deal with the snow. I would drag my whole family to Denver and be a happy camper the rest of the day.
I will tell your husband right now, I was in Denver during the snow, and you would think Denver snow, they understand it. The entire city shut down because of the snow. I'm like, you're in the Rocky Mountains. How are you shut down because it's snow? Nope. Thrift stores are closed. Record stores are closed. Tiki bars closed. Like, what?
Yeah, wow. I think they almost shut down one of my technical rehearsals once. And then it just we barely eked by. I still am not sure how we did it, but we did it anyway, and it was lovely. Everyone got home safe, and then we had a day off. I think that's why we dealt with it, is because we all knew that there was going to be a day off the next day. So,
all right. So first, the question I'm going to guess everyone asks: do you sing opera?
Yeah.
Whoa, heck no! You don't want to hear me do that. No. I have fabulous friends, all of which I can point you to, that do that. That is not me. I keep my happy self. They do know my voice well, though. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes to places, please, because I get on my microphone and I page that through the entire building.
You're so needed, even though you can't sing. You're the backbone, probably.
Well, and that's what we do. Anytime you see anything move, any light changes, a spotlight picks somebody up, the set, like the curtain comes in, none of that happens unless it comes out of my mouth. So
now, earlier today, I sent Stephanie a picture of us getting the 2,000 CDs. But the reason I was sending is the teenager who does my pictures. She sings opera. She sings a lot of stuff. But it's kind of cool to have someone working in my office who through the halls I hear opera. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not an opera fan, but man, in 2020, when there's a 17-year-old singing opera while she's taking photos of like, Iron Maiden albums. It's just so weird and awesome and cool and different. And I can't sing. So when she sings or when we're listening to popular music and a song comes on and I start to sing and then she starts to sing, I go, okay.
Oh.
I'll be over here. I can't carry a tune. So, hey, what did you do with Blue Man Group? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. We would be one of two stage managers. We would rotate between calling the show and running the show on deck. And unfortunately, with the Cirque du Soleil thing happening the other day, I am now a free agent, as it were. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. So that's your day job. Mm-hmm. Now, when did you say, I want to sell online?
Actually, oh goodness. I think it actually started in college just for fun, just for some extra like bar money. We'd look around, and at that time I was also making jewelry. And so like I would make jewelry and then I'd have just extra stuff. And so I'd take that extra stuff, the extra findings, the extra beads that I didn't need. I'd lot them together and sell them on eBay for something else that I wanted. And then after that, it just kind of it didn't really evolve into something until really like 2011. That's when I really was like, okay, this could actually really help, because sometimes you find these pockets in opera and in most theater where you aren't employed and you are a self-employed person. So you have to find ways to feed yourself, pay rent in between those gigs. So that was how I did some of that, was I found sewing patterns and I was like, oh, these are back in 2011 when it was still like not too many people were into it and they sold like hotcakes. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do more of this then.
Now, where were you back? So back then, where were you finding them? Were you in thrift stores? Were you at garage sales? Were you in grandma's attic? Where were you finding the patterns?
The very first one I found was in a hat box at the very back table, like of a forgotten antique store in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's the first place I found it. And I cherry picked because I didn't really know. And I was like, well, these all look kind of cool and they've got good lines because I'm thinking like costumes. So I was like, okay, well, somebody will want to make these into a costume. So I grabbed them and I took them back to my hotel and I started doing research because at the time I didn't really research on the fly. I was just like, I like this one. I like this one. So I didn't.
This is pretty.
Yes, exactly. This is shiny. I'll take this. So after that, I went back the next day and I was like, I will take the rest of these. Thank you. Because they were all the same bust sizes, the same era. And I had most of them sold. So then after that, I did a lot of sourcing actually from eBay and still do a lot of sourcing from eBay. So hooray for eBay.
Yay.
Have you been sourcing online at all?
Me, not really. No.
You got to get in the habit. Like I did a web class with Secret Beach about sourcing online since we're kind of stuck at home. And when I was creating it, every place I was going to share, I bought something to flip. And then like 2 weeks went by, I went, oh, I found all kinds of good stuff. I probably should get in the habit of like at least once a day, once every 3 days, go to these like 4 or 5 sites, look for these few things that I know real well. Like I wouldn't be looking for patterns. Tiki mugs, for example. Mm-hmm. I bought 6 Tiki mugs on Poshmark for $66, and I sell each one on average for $66. So, shopping online, and right now, safest place to shop.
Yep.
My craft files are huge, so I really don't need to be.
Yeah, true. So, all right. So you're selling, you're operaing, you're Blue Man Grouping. And then you thought a couple months ago, you know what? I should have a YouTube channel.
I did. It was actually at the behest of a lot of my very dear friends. One in particular, my marketing friend in Colorado, was finally like, let me help you do this. Because I had done one video at home with my husband and I was super awkward. I was so uncomfortable. Like, he was doing his best to try and make me feel better. And I was just like, I feel awkward. And so I get to Colorado and I show my friend the video. She's like, this has potential. This is very clearly the first time you've done this, but here's this piece of equipment and this piece. And so like she loaned me all of this fantastic stuff to actually record from my hotel room. And she's really the one that like gave me the shove of like, no, you're good at this. Please do more of these.
So do I hear Stephanie offering to teach us in the Secret Beach how to do videos?
I gotta say, so yeah, so I've taken notes. I've binged Stephanie for like 3 days, and I've missed only 1.5 shows, so I'm almost done. But I took notes, and right away I reached out. I'm like, hey, what are you editing this on? And she used the same thing I do, but she was dropping in stuff that I'm like, I have never done that before. So I want to go through some notes, and what I'm going to do is let me mute this bad boy.
Ah, yes.
I'm going to play one of your videos because here is what I want people to go watch your videos. Now, even if you don't give a crud about sewing patterns, what is unique about Stephanie is she's not doing just one thing. Like I do this show, and Mom and my show is a little bit different. Then I'm doing these other things in between, some Tiki mug unboxings. So it's not just the same. And I watched you evolve. So if you're going to watch somebody, if they don't have too much stuff, start at the beginning. So your first episode was February 8th, and my first note was, boy, do you need a microphone.
Yeah. Correct.
Yep.
Absolutely correct.
So no mic, and it was in a room that was very kind of echoey. And then for 2 or 3 episodes, you had this camera that just kept focusing over and over and over. Like it would kind of get you seasick.
Yeah.
And because you started editing really after the fact, you would add in, I don't know what the hell's going on with my camera down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So you're aware there was an issue, and so people aren't like yelling at their TV or their monitor.
Right.
You were like, hey, I know there's a problem. So you went from an echoey room with no mic and a camera that won't stop focusing to this is a mini movie right here. This is you have become a director.
This was one of my favorite projects. And actually, Connor Henry is actually an opera director who does a podcast about Hamlet. And so he actually recorded this from Ireland for me, the voiceover that we can't hear because we're talking. And he was the one that actually, like, I got this information. I sent it to him. We both agreed it was hilarious. Like, we were storyboarding as if we were still working on an opera. And so it kind of fills that void for me of like, I miss my job. And so I get to do fun things like this sometimes to just kind of let go and just, you know what, just do it. It's dumb. It's fun. I look ridiculous and I think it's entertaining. So all of these things.
So my mom says she loves this video. Becky Joyce said, oh yes, let's talk on the Secret Beach about editing and stuff. So yeah, I'd be down for that if you'd be down for that. So here's my notes. So February 8th, you started. And and March 9th, I wrote Holy Production Batman. March 9th, you're like, oh, I got to start editing and adding. And that's when you really took off. But, the first is the worst. That's what Chris Green always says. That's what I say. And I'm not saying you're bad. But if you want to watch somebody, but if you want to watch somebody progress, it's pretty impressive. Because if I go back and watch Nay and I's first show, it was fine. But, man, we didn't have any production value at all. And nowadays with StreamYard, we can do all kinds of fun stuff like show this video.
Yeah.
Let's throw Carlton into your video. We can do fun stuff like this nowadays. All right. So that was okay. So March 21st, if you go back and watch that one, your sound effects are alarmingly loud. That scared me 3 times.
I was learning. I didn't really realize how distressing those would be, and I've changed that now.
Oh yeah, But it's good if you want to YouTube watching her go, because you're doing it now. Like I've been doing this for so long. The technology we had 6 years ago was so rudimentary compared to now. You're in the moment where you can edit, you can add stuff. And so I'm watching that video and I'm also working. So I have 3 monitors here. You're on the right. And, I'm like doing stuff and the sound effect comes out so loud. I'm like, what?
It's okay. Right. My Blue Man crew will agree that I occasionally would forget to turn the monitor down in the calling booth and do the same to my lightboard tech. So that's not a new thing for me, apparently.
All right. And then I said March 25th, you've hit your stride. So from that point on, you are dialed in. You've got your sound effects. You've got your editing. And then when I got to this one, I'm like, man, you put everything together. So and I watched, Deb, I watched all these videos on how to make a skirt. Like, I don't give 2 craps. I ain't never going to make a skirt. But it was good. It was entertaining. Yeah. It's not something I'll ever use. But, other videos, when you have like Bueller, you don't want to watch. But with Steffi, you want to watch. Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, but I got to say, she's gutsy and she's a natural. Just watching this. What did they call it in the old days? This talkie or this quiet, with there was no sound, whatever you call that. I'm just mesmerized just watching her. What's she going to do next?
All right. So here's a question for you, Stephanie, and the rest of the people who use a sewing machine in the chat. So around between March and April, you kind of complain about your sewing machine. Now, my question is, because I'm not a sewer, is it old and you still want to use it because you love it? You don't want to buy a new one? Is it too expensive? I don't know what they cost. I have no clue.
No, so it's technically threefold. One, my machine is pink. I love it. It's my aesthetic. It works. I'm a pink and black girl, always have been. So it's halfway there. Number 2, this is closer to the machine that I grew up learning on. So the machines that my mother showed me on were like the old heavy metals, and that's what this one is. It's an old heavy metal machine. I understand it. I know how it works. It's a mechanical object. I understand the mechanics of it. And the third option is I have a very fancy Bernina embroidery plastic. It was new in, I think 2011 as well. But like it was one of the new fancy, it does all these things. It took my mother, who had been sewing her entire life, a year just to figure out how to do basic stitches on it.
Oh, wow.
So it's still sitting in its happy little case right where it is, not going away, but it's my backup machine because it will take me weeks to figure out just how to do basic machine. And I'm like, all I want my machine to do is basic stitches. And that's what old machines do really well. But the problem is I'm not always the best about remembering to oil and clean my machine, which is the problem. So if you don't oil and clean your machine, then it gets clunky and starts jerking and not working the way you want it to. If you oil it regularly, like every 2 weeks, it works just fine. I just need to remember the second step to that, which is cleaning the daggone thing after you use it.
So the other thing I like, and I think everyone will enjoy, is you put all your bloopers and outtakes at the end. So you finish whatever you're working on, whether it's building a skirt, showing your closet, the fun thing we just watched, and you called your husband out right here.
Oh, yeah.
He's your cameraman, Oh, so my first question is, we ever going to see him?
We did a little bit in this last bit. He's the one that takes the beer from me.
Well, right, but you only see his hands.
I don't know. I mean, that's really up to him. I don't know if he wants to be in any of these. He likes to banter with me. So if you guys, besides this one, but like there's a lot of banter that happens between the two of us. And so especially in those clips where it's like, I'm saying something and then he says something, I try and boost the volume in the bloopers so you can hear both of us. But I don't know. Maybe I'll end up making him a shirt and make him model for us.
Yay.
But so I have the question about the sewing machine. So, and a lot of people were chatting. Look, you like the one you like, you're on it, you use it. All right. So let me show real quick. There's a video. Now they're not all black and white in like a production like this.
No.
So I don't want anybody to think, oh, that's the norm. So this video, there was a point in time when everyone on YouTube was like, "Oh, I can put on 100 t-shirts, I can put on 100 coats of nail polish." So here you put on every apron you own, and
and every apron I am selling. Like,
okay.
Oh, that's smart.
And
those
I
are
am
all
very
the antique
partial.
vintage aprons that I have for sale. Well,
Yeah.
most of them. Some of them sold since then, but
Yeah, number 31. Man, I love that apron.
yeah, that's a good one.
That's badass.
Yeah. And like, there's a part of me I'm like, oh, if it was more fabric, you could rework the daggone thing, but it's so tiny. But the straps aren't, which is nice.
Yeah, so there's learning, there's fun, there's shenanigans. So I just gotta say, well done. And one other thing I wanted to point out, and just was very refreshing, is you are so very comfortable in your own body that I absolutely it caught my ear and my eye, and I was very appreciative of that, because everyone tries to be, we all want to be a little bit shorter or taller or skinnier, and you're just like, this is me, and this is what I need to. Because you're talking about making stuff, so you can't lie. You're like, if I'm making a skirt, I can't be like, this is my waist when it isn't. So I very, very appreciate that. It was very refreshing to hear.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I just, I'm like, me and my 38-inch waist. Yeah, we got this. It's good.
Love the honesty.
Oh, Heather said we saw that little coffee maker at the beginning. What coffee maker was that?
Oh, it's a Breville. My husband got it for me for Christmas, I think 3 years ago. That has saved me so much money and so much less sugar from Starbucks. So I love it. Because it's the one where you put the beans actually in and it fresh grinds them. So good.
Smart husband. Save money.
Yep.
So Becky can sew on an industrial machine. And someone said, where was it? Oh, Elisa says she's been sewing so long, she probably used a machine that Betsy Ross used.
There's another YouTuber I follow that I'm pretty sure she uses that machine, because she has like an 1897 hand crank. And I'm like, oh, girl, more power to, I like my foot pedal. Like, go gadget. Let's do this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the reason I asked that, Deb, was when I get my tattoos by Dirk, his gun is very old. And he, of course, obviously the needles are new, but the gun itself is very old. It's what he's always used. He loves it. And I go, you ever want to buy a new gun? He goes, nope.
That's because he's covered. My sewing machine that I bought at Costco, I think 5 years ago, is still sitting in the garage, because my bobbin always gets all tangled up, and I don't even try it anymore. But I look at it every day I go out there, and I wish I could use it.
Yeah, it's probably the tension or the thread. Those are normally the two things.
Something's messed up, and I just forget it. I sew by hand if I need to.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so now have the worlds collided? Have something you've done on YouTube helped you sell something, either right from whatever you did or through eBay or Etsy or anything?
Absolutely. Because I do tell folks at the very beginning, like, the owner of Backroom Finds, which I've been doing, I've had the name Backroom Finds since I started selling patterns in 2011 on Etsy. But I just started my own website, and I was finding it hard to gain traction, and it was going, but it was going really slow. And ever since I've started doing these videos and telling people, hi, I have an easier site to search. Every one of these is in my house. There's no delay in any form at this point, So because of all of that, I've sold some of those aprons. I've sold a ton of patterns, some really great fabrics to people, some clothes. So like a lot of the stuff that people see has gone and found a new home. Now the cute little like double extra small to 2XL skirt, I still have that one. Not sure why, but that's okay. It's cute. It'll hang out. It'll sell eventually.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to do a video. I'll just hold things up and sell them.
Well,
Right?
when Mom and I did her first 45 unboxing, a couple people live said, "Oh, I want that heart. I want," and then one of our viewers who watched not live said, I'll buy all the rest."
Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I just did a haul video this week. No one reached out, and that's fine. But sometimes people are like, "Oh, I need that shirt and that shirt and that shirt." So yeah. So if you ever want a YouTube, the reason we had Dustin on a couple weeks ago and Stephanie this week is it can be all part of it. You don't have to be on YouTube, but if you're a frustrated actor and you like the spotlight, YouTube's a great way to do it. And
Yeah.
we talked about showing the secrets and doing it in the secret beach. I've never done this. I've never seen this, and I absolutely love this little effect you did. You read this, but you're behind it, kind of out of focus.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I need to take a screenshot. I don't know how to do that. That is cool.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to come over. It's one of the title screens. It's actually real easy, but it's just it's really digging into iMovie and pushing it to its absolute limit, which sometimes my computer dislikes me for, but we just restart and try again.
Oh, I love it. Don't you think it would be awesome to have her and Justin do a YouTube together?
Oh yeah, well, I was thinking about that. I'm thinking about we need one more like YouTuber on in the near future, and maybe we'll do a group show too, because I think it's kind of like we could be like the Justice League of the YouTubers, because everyone's I hope I bring entertainment and it's not like very boring to watch, and I want to surround myself with people who are doing the same. So, but you did say before we went live that your camera broke and you're using an actual camera. What about an iPhone?
Well, you'll see actually in the last video where it dumps from my DSLR into a cell phone shot. And we tried it. My camera died last week, or the last video, and my uncle has like a stash of cameras because he's a photographer. He's a photographer his whole life. So he had one. He's like, here, use this one till yours gets fixed. I have not learned the settings on this one yet. So I did my whole intro. It sounded great. It was smooth off the cuff. I loaded into my program and go, oh, this looks awful, because it was so grainy and blown out and the screen was rolling. I'm like, oh, I clearly did not do something right. So I get my husband. I'm like, come up here with your cell phone. We need to do a new intro, whole new intro and outro, because this is garbage.
Now, do you find that you don't like the phone, you want to stick with the traditional camera?
The reason I don't like my phone is because my phone is an iPhone 7.
Oh, okay.
It does the job, but not as well as I'd like. And despite my camera being a D7000 from 2012, when I bought it, it was like the thing to buy. It was like the second newest, one out there. The only thing it didn't have was the flip out screen. That was the next tier up. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'll never need that.
Yeah, the 11 Pro Max is epic and can shoot really good stuff where you don't need a camera. Like when I got this camera and I got the right light in my photo studio, my teenager takes great pictures. There is no editing needed for anything.
Yeah,
and that's key too. When you're shooting pictures or video, the right lights are key. That if you have to edit after the fact, you've got some piece of your equipment wrong, because you should be able to go from taking pictures right to editing your video in terms of title screen stuff or your listing shots. Yeah.
The only thing I do know, some people like to jazz up their videos with some people have this where they oversaturate the color. And so you have to import that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I just want to not look pasty pale like a ghost and not look like the Grim Reaper because my room is too dark. That's really all I want.
Nice.
What light am I using now? I think I shared it somewhere. I went to the thin ones that Craig and Rick use. And if you remember a couple episodes ago, I bought these, which I thought were the big ones. As you can see, they're very tiny. But they're lighting me up really nice. So I kept them.
Yeah.
But there are bigger versions of that, but they're so thin that in your photo studio, no matter how big or small it is, they take up no footprint that when the teenager came over to shoot photos, when I switched from the big old lights I had, she's like, holy cow, this room is huge now. I go, I know. You got room to work.
Nice.
All right, so let's finish out as we always do with duds and scores, because we saved your amazing score to the end. That's my favorite. So let's start out with your duds.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh no, it's $65. You would think score.
Absolutely, you would. Until you know the following things. First up, I bought the thing for $39. because I thought it was a $125 piece because at the time it was. Then somebody else brought another one on, dropped the price to 90 before I could list it, but from the time that I bought it to the time that I listed it, so already I'm losing there. And then I couldn't figure why it wasn't selling, so I took better photos. It got more traction, but still no one bought it. Someone finally messages me and says, "Is that back hinge bent?" And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's why it's not selling. Because when you look on the side picture, you could clearly see where the hinge was bent. I was like, how did I not see that? Not that one. I think that you can sort of see it there where it's like not lining up correctly. Yeah. Right there where that gap was. You can see that, and that's what's bent, and that's why it wasn't worth as much money. So I actually didn't even sell it for $65. I took a best offer of $50 with free shipping. So I was just like, you know what? Just take it. I want it out of my house. Just take it.
It was just like the Insane Clown Posse CD I sold. When I got it, it was a much higher priced item. And then mine didn't sell, and others came into market, and then it just dropped. And I like to show those because I'm the master at flipping CDs, but things happen. So you can't ever be like, this one sucks, and be like, I'm going to go climb in a hole. It just happens. Yeah. The market drops out of any product. I just happen to sell a lot of CDs, so I like to share what it does, just to prove that it happens to everybody, even the best of us.
Yep.
Oh, and I thought I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, I found a cute cat thing and it's cross-stitch. This is an easy sell. No. I mean, it didn't take that long to sell. I had it listed only about a month because I had at least gotten smart at the very beginning of the quarantine shenanigans. I did list this thing immediately because I was like, oh, people are going to be bored. Let's list this. And, you know, I paid $25 for it, but also at the same time, it's free shipping. So, you know, at the end of the day, so yes, some cross stitches are worth money. That is not one of them.
That would be the dud. Oh, look at this lovely Alice Polynesian Fashions. Yay, muumuus. But my question is, you didn't have muumuu anywhere.
I didn't, actually. I completely forgot, and it still sold, I think, in about 48 hours.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good brand. They always have good colors. Yeah. And this is, and when I was putting this together, it's definitely, there's no, other than the shoulders and the arms, there's no real shape. So it's definitely a muumuu.
Oh, yeah. No. 1,000% a muumuu. But this one, actually, I found this in the house. Like, there was this huge house where I got all this stuff from the same lady. And it was, I bought that for $8. It definitely had some staining on the front. I got all but one of them out. I disclosed it. The buyer still gave me a 5-star. Totally happy with it.
Awesome.
I actually feel left out. I had no muumuu sales this week. You two had muumuu sales. All right. So what platform is this? Because obviously the other one was eBay.
Okay. So this is Etsy.
Okay.
Yep. So anything flocked, y'all. If that is white, fluffy, velvety on top, you want to label it flocked because they are going to flock to it. That is, I don't know if y'all have realized, it's a huge trend right now.
Oh, so no, I didn't.
You're getting that flocked fabric, you're getting it listed because there's a few companies that do customs for toddlers and their mothers they love it. They love the stuff. So make sure you're getting that stuff list. I'm not sure if this one was listed because it's just an awesome dress or if it was flocked, but either way, I thought it was cool.
Yes. Picked
it up in Pennsylvania on a road trip for $18, and it sold, I think, for $60. Nice. Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
All right, so that was Etsy. What's this one?
So don't ever underestimate Facebook groups, y'all.
There you go.
Facebook group. I paid $5 for that pattern. And that thing was torn, because what happens sometimes with patterns is they use tracing wheels. Well, if you use tracing wheels on something too many times, it does start to fall apart, which is why I personally don't use them. I use tailor tacks, which is still a little bit harsh, but not bad. But somebody had used a tracing wheel all over this. So if they wouldn't have done this, that pattern could have been listed for close to $250. But because it was in such bad shape, I had to drop it to $125, and it still sold instantaneously.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
Yep.
And I assume it was a specialty group?
Yeah.
Facebook group?
Yeah. It's a special pattern group. So like there's some where you can just go and just list them. You don't have to check them. You don't have to know anything. You can list them in lots and it doesn't matter. And because patterns are my thing, I just have a knack for making sure they're all there and describing them well. I've gotten known to be like a reliable seller. So you can see like where it says discolored from age, tears along the sides, jacket pieces were used the most, things like that. That's how you're showing your buyers like, no, really, I double checked this thing. You know exactly what I see. So yeah, this was a specialty pattern group where this one sold.
All right, drum roll here. We'll before we bring it up on the screen, we'll give some fireworks for the 4th of July.
Excellent.
Oh my God, just simply, absolutely gorgeous.
Love it.
Oh, the Alfred Shaheen. Oh, that dress. So pretty. So this one I found in an out-of-the-way thrift store here in Orlando. All the clothing in that building, I'm pretty sure, is half off every single day because they just have so much of it.
Oh, wow.
And they have the world's worst lighting, fluorescent. It's the loud fluorescent lighting, so you get a headache after about an hour or so in there. But I was going through, and I was just, what I do to look for border prints is I basically look below, and I'm like trailing the skirts to see what has a good border print. And I see these little flowers, and I'm like, oh, what are you? But you're in the extra small, which also tells me vintage. So I pull it out, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, this is really nice. And I keep going, and I don't see a tag the first time. Y'all, I put it down.
Oh my gosh.
Don't do that. I put it down. I messaged a picture to my friend who I know, who was like, she's a very sweet friend of mine. She's a vintage lover. I send her this picture. I go, this looks really familiar. She immediately texts me back, goes, if your hand is not on that dress, I will kill you. I'm like, okay. I had gotten like 6 feet away, and I go back, snag the dress. Now, no one was really in the store, so it was fine. It was like me and the cashier. That was it. But I grabbed the dress, and the kicker is you can't see it in this photo, but it also has a halter strap, which is normally lost. This one had it pinned to it so that it couldn't possibly be
wow.
lost. Yes. So I paid $8 for that.
Shut up.
For a 1950s Alfred Shaheen fern print, which is very, very rare. And I sold it to that friend for $225.
Now, did you give the friend a deal?
Yes, I did.
So what do you think the open market would have been?
We agreed that open market, it probably would have gotten closer to $325.
You're a good friend.
She didn't pay me fees on it, so.
Yeah, I had no fees. She had helped me out on so many buys that I was like, you know what? I go forth. I'm still, though, Felix, if you're watching, I want the photos of you in this dress. Stag on it.
Yeah,
she's gonna get all dressed up and send me a photo, and I haven't seen it yet.
So she's the friend that told you to go back and get it, right?
Oh yes,
that's what you told too. So if it hadn't been for her, you wouldn't even have bought it or made this much money.
Exactly.
So. It's gorgeous.
And the thing is, she still feels kind of bad. She's like, I feel like I kind of took it from you. I'm like, no. There is no guilt here. There is no guilt here.
Yeah, she made you money.
Exactly.
That is awesome. All right, well, Stephanie, you were everything I dreamed you would be. Just awesome, fun, and it's just so fun to watch your videos. It's one of those things where I watch and listen to a lot of stuff while I work, and YouTube videos weren't on my daily rotation until I started to meet you and Dustin and some others. I'm like, I got to make sure I watch all these videos once a week now, or however often you put them up, because they're entertaining, and it gives me ideas. Like I'm watching your videos. I'm like, hey, how'd you edit that? I don't know how to do that. So I'm very excited that that we did. We had you on and we talked about YouTube, because it's not everyone's not going to do it, but if you want to, it might be some outlet you didn't know that you were like, I need to do that.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to come over to that secret beach and we
cool.
can chat about all my little tricks that I use.
We will hang out and talk about that for sure. So let me end by saying this. I want everyone to have a happy 4th of July.
And safe.
Please be safe. Right now it's different things than we're normally like, normally it'd be like, don't light a firework and forget to throw it out of your hand kind of thing. But because I did that once as a teenager. Yeah, lit one of the 2 fireworks in my hand and threw the unlit one.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God I got all these still, because I looked at it the last second and went, that's the lit one.
Oh.
Yes, Mom and Dad were at home. I was by myself too.
Take care of your pets during tomorrow night.
Yeah, please.
On them.
If you're going to be out or if you're near fireworks, turn up the music. Help out your pets. I've been a dog owner for a long time. Luckily, this is the one time I can say this. Luckily, my dog is deaf now.
Oh, well, there you go.
So he will not be bothered, but typically they are. So everyone have a good 4th.
Yes.
Be safe, be sane. Secret Beachcombers, I'll see you tomorrow night for the store review. And everyone else, come back here on Sunday, and we will see what 45s my mom found this time. and as an added little bonus, I picked up some 45s today, too. So we'll talk about why you should be buying this.
Wow, like that dress, too.
There's your little hint for Sunday.
Love
All right, everybody. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Debbie. And we'll see y'all.
Bye.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.